In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation.
And people get caught up in the illusion of Hollywood. People really get caught up in this.
Katt Williams has once again set Hollywood ablaze, and this time, his target is none other than Kevin Hart. On Shannon Sharpe's viral podcast, Katt dropped explosive truths that shook the entire industry. Is Kevin Hart really a plant? Did he conspire to get Shannon Sharpe canceled? And is this all part of an old rivalry? Today, we break down the entire drama in full exposé style. We'll explore 5 powerful angles that reveal what's really going on behind closed doors in comedy, celebrity culture, and Hollywood. 1. Fast fame mystery. The most disturbing question Katt Williams raised in his bombshell interview was how Kevin Hart managed to skyrocket to fame so rapidly. Within his first year in Los Angeles, Kevin had already landed a sitcom and was starring in a major Hollywood movie, Soul Plane. Katt, with decades in the business, pointed out that this kind of rise is not only unprecedented, but nearly impossible without serious connections. He implied that Kevin wasn't just talented, he was planted. Katt questioned how Kevin could claim to have built his career on the East Coast while simultaneously dominating on the West Coast. The timelines didn't match up. He saw this as proof that Kevin's image was manufactured. He already had his deals when he got here, Katt claimed, arguing that Kevin bypassed the struggles most comics face. That idea alone made many fans stop and think, was Kevin truly the underdog he portrays himself to be? Or was his journey more controlled than we thought? Katt framed himself as the opposite, a self-made artist who never took shortcuts, even when it meant being blackballed. This contrast, the independent hustler versus the compliant corporate comic, is central to understanding their feud. For Katt, Kevin's success wasn't earned through struggle, but through obedience to Hollywood's silent rules. He even called him Hollywood's chosen puppet, suggesting Kevin's career as an example of how loyalty to industry elites trumps raw talent. The message resonated with fans who've long suspected that real talent often gets overlooked for marketable faces. 2. Dress drama. One of the most intense accusations Katt leveled against Kevin was regarding the infamous dress-wearing controversy. This issue has echoed through the careers of many Black comedians, from Dave Chappelle to Martin Lawrence, and now Kevin Hart. Years ago, Kevin stated in an interview that he would never wear a dress for comedy. He emphasized his personal boundaries and said he didn't need gimmicks to be funny. But then he appeared on Saturday Night Live in a skit wearing a wig and a dress. This contradiction wasn't lost on the public, and it certainly wasn't lost on Katt. He used it as an example of Kevin betraying his own integrity just to climb higher in the industry. For Katt, the issue wasn't the dress itself. It was what the dress symbolized. It represented submission to an industry that expects Black male entertainers to emasculate themselves for laughs and acceptance. Katt stood firmly against that, saying he would never do anything just to appease executives. "I'm funnier than a dress," he declared, a mic drop moment that cut straight to the core of the debate. What made this moment so powerful is that it reminded fans of Dave Chappelle's story, how he walked away from a $50 million deal because he felt the industry was trying to exploit him. Katt positioned himself as part of that same resistance. Meanwhile, Kevin's decision to wear the dress undermined his earlier statements about artistic limits and brand protection. Katt painted Kevin's move not as comedic, but as compliant, done to please the system and gain favor with those in power. 3. Shannon's setup? Perhaps the most shocking element of Katt's allegations was the claim that Kevin Hart helped orchestrate Shannon Sharpe's downfall. Shannon, who had been thriving with his show and brand deals, recently lost his ESPN presence and a major $100 million podcast deal, all amid a lawsuit filed by a woman named Gabriella Zuniga. According to Katt, this lawsuit wasn't accidental. It was part of a calculated takedown, and Kevin Hart was allegedly involved. Katt suggested that Gabriella was strategically planted. Jaguar Wright added fuel to the theory by connecting Gabriella to actress Daphne Zuniga, indicating deep Hollywood ties. This made the setup seem even more plausible. The theory became that Shannon's known attraction to younger women, openly discussed in past interviews, was exploited to frame him and remove him from the spotlight. Why would Kevin be involved? According to Katt, Shannon became a threat after inviting Katt on his show. The same interview where Katt exposed Hollywood's dirty secrets. Kevin, trying to protect his status and clean image, allegedly saw Shannon as collateral damage. If true, this turns Kevin from a passive player to an active manipulator. This angle redefined the feud as more than a celebrity spat. It became a story of survival in a cutthroat industry, where one man's rise might require another man's ruin. Whether or not you believe Katt's claims, they raise serious questions about how far people are willing to go to stay on top. 4. Blacklisting Katt. While Kevin was climbing the ladder of success, Katt says he was being systematically erased from the industry, not for failing, but for refusing to play along. His breaking point came during the production of Friday After Next. According to Katt, the original script involved a sexual assault scene played for laughs. Katt refused. He said that kind of comedy crossed a moral line. That decision cost him dearly. After refusing to do the scene, Katt claims he was immediately blackballed. Offers stopped coming. Roles he had been promised were suddenly handed to others, including Kevin Hart. This, he said, wasn't a coincidence. "They pay you to stay quiet. I refused, and I paid the price," he explained. What's more, Katt claimed that nearly every film Kevin starred in between 2010 and 2015 had originally been offered to him. But because Katt insisted on maintaining artistic control or asked to remove degrading content, he was dropped. Kevin, on the other hand, accepted every script as is, without protest. Katt presented himself as the martyr, someone who lost opportunities by standing firm in his values. He drew a sharp line between himself and other comics who he accused of selling out. For him, success without soul wasn't success at all. His story serves as a warning about what happens when you challenge the people who run the machine. 5. Reactions and rivalry. After all the public shots Katt fired, fans waited to see how Kevin would respond. Kevin's comeback wasn't direct, but it was sharp. During a basketball commentary appearance, he joked that Katt Williams bought the Knicks and returned them with a receipt. It was silly, but the intention was clear. Kevin was mocking the entire situation. Then came his real response on The Breakfast Club. Kevin called Katt a failure, blaming him for not taking advantage of the opportunities he was given. He accused Katt of skipping promotional tours, missing shoots, and damaging his own reputation. "You had your shot," Kevin said, "but you blew it." But Katt didn't stay silent either. He rebutted with facts. No DUIs, no drug charges, clean record. "I've been tested for years, I'm clean," he said, pushing back on Kevin's implication that he was self-destructive. He also pointed out how many other comedians he had helped, including 46 Black women who got their first touring experience with him. Women who, even after all that, struggled for recognition. This part of the feud touched a nerve. Fans saw it not just as two comics trading insults, but as a battle over values. Kevin represented the brand-driven, polished Hollywood star. Katt represented the raw, unfiltered truth-teller. The deeper this rivalry goes, the more it exposes about who gets to win in the entertainment world. And why? What started as a podcast appearance has spiraled into one of the most talked-about celebrity feuds of the decade. But this drama is more than personal. It's a mirror to the machine that powers fame, revealing the compromises, betrayals, and politics behind every smiling face we see on screen. Is Katt Williams telling uncomfortable truths that Hollywood doesn't want to hear? Or is he just bitter over missed chances? Has Kevin Hart truly played a part in other people's downfalls? Or is he just an easy target because of his success? Whatever side you land on, this story forces us to ask tough questions about how success is made and what it costs. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned.